So we have Mr. Eric and I'm Mr. Doug, and we're going to be instructors. And the name of this station is Gifts of the Forest. Why would we call it Gifts of the Forest?
Because we get free gifts.
The forest gives us a ton of gifts, and we're going to learn about some of them today. So let's just start out. Whose birthday is today?
Nope.
Anybody have a birthday this week?
Nope.
Anybody have a birthday this month, October? Yes, when was your birthday?
October 28th.
October 28th, almost
Same
Halloween.
Same
Let's get a kid. Whose birthday is close this month? Yes, sir.
October 28th.
All right, well, cool. Hey, I'll tell you what.
Birthday?
What's that?
Could it be our parents' birthday?
Yeah, you can, sure.
It's
Soon?
like that.
Okay, so that's not that soon. Okay, we're going to be talking about the gifts of the forest today. I would like to start out with a volunteer. So the forest has lots of gifts. So let's start off with the lady, right? Ladies first. Why don't you come on up here? What we're going to do, we're going to have each of my volunteers come up, and we're going to pull different cards out of a little bag, okay? And they're going to be the gifts. They're going to be the gifts of the forest that we talk about. Now, there's a lot of them, but we're going to focus on kind of the main ones today. So here's our little gift bag, and in here we have little cards that say
Money?
just the name of a gift of the forest. So you can pick any one you want. If you would do that, please, ma'am. Pick any one you want. And what I want you to do is I want you to read it, show it to everybody, and keep it in front of you. What does that say?
Soil and water protection.
Soil and water protection. What kind of gift is that?
It protects soil.
Oh, we're very, very good. But how so? How does the forest protect our soil? How does the forest protect our soil? Yes, sir.
It fertilizes it.
Well, in a way, because it creates leaf litter, which breaks down and gives us minerals and nutrients, right, that feed other plants in the forest, including our trees. But how else does it protect our soil? You see lots of trees around you, right? What's under the ground, under those trees that you can't see right now? Roots. Are those roots? Well, some trees have roots that are real skinny, real short, but these trees out here, these forest trees, they have very wide roots. How wide do you think they are? Let's take one of these tall pine trees. Are the roots as wide as the pine tree is tall? No. You know how much wider they are? They can be up to double, up to 3 times as wide as the tree is tall. So how does that protect our soil? How does that protect our soil? Because the roots act like fingers and hands that hold the soil into place. But why is that a good thing? You're like, why is that a good thing? Yes, sir. Holds the ground in place, right? Holds the trees in place, right? But why is it a good idea that we don't have just soil and dirt running everywhere?
Because it protects the stone.
If you hold the soil in place, right, that holds the trees up, and the soil staying in place means it doesn't, when it rains, doesn't get in the water, right? And where does the water flow? It's going to flow downhill, right? So if it rains right here, water's going to flow right down there, isn't it? And it's going to go to a stream or a river, right? It always does. When it rains, our water makes it down to our our streams and rivers. Why don't we want dirt and sand and all that in our water?
Because
we drink it.
Dirty
It makes it dirty, right? It makes it dirty. It pollutes the water so the fish can't breathe or eat, right? How does it protect water? Same principle, right? It filters our water. You want to see how it filters the water? Let's see. Why don't you pick a really strong person out of your class? Who's the strongest? It doesn't have to be a boy. It could be a girl. It could be anybody. Pick somebody really strong for us. A volunteer. All right, Daniel, come here. Strong boy. You step to the side just a little bit for me. I want you to grab this water can right here. I'm going to show you how different types of soil, different types of, one second. So you're going to pour water over this. You see leaf litter or anything over this? This is just bare ground, right? Just dirt. Why don't you pour water on there? Just start pouring water on there and watch what happens. Just keep pouring it. Just keep pouring it. It's starting to run right out. Look at that dirty water in there. Look at that. Isn't that dirty? Is it protecting our water quality?
No.
You can stop now. Thanks. You step back to the side just a little bit. You see that dirty water? Would you want to drink that?
No.
We collected some of that water earlier. You want to have a sip?
No.
You want to have a sip? That's disgusting, right? You don't want a sip of that. You don't want a sip of that. I'll tell you what, let's try this experiment. Why don't you take the same watering can? I want you water on our forest floor, just like you see all the pine straw and leaves and leaf litter, right? Let's pour it in here and see what happens. Just pour it all and keep pouring it. Keep it at the back. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. Keep it at the back.
A little bit overload.
I want you to see how much longer it takes the water to come out of here, right? It's filtering the water. You see that water? Watch this. For those of you up front, it's clean, isn't it? I mean, it might have a little piece of bark or something in it, but it's not filled with dirt. Did you know that the forest actually filters our water? That's good. Thank you, sir. Did you know that more than half of the water we get here in America comes from our forests? Clean water, excuse me. The forests actually filter and clean more than half of the water available to us. In our cities, we have water treatment plants, but the rest of it that flows into our streams and lakes and rivers gets filtered by our forest. Why don't we take another volunteer? Anybody? We had a lady last time. Come here. Why don't you pull out a gift? Pull out a gift to the forest. What does that say? Oh, sorry. What does that say?
Recreation.
It doesn't. It does say recreation, but we use that word like this: recreation. Hold it up for everybody. What's recreation? What is recreation?
Recreation.
Anybody? Yes.
To basically recreate something.
Well, you can. It might have a hyphen there. Here, we might say recreation, but we're talking about recreation. Recreation means having fun.
Oh.
The forest gives us the gift of recreation. What's the things you do for fun in the forest? Does anybody like to go camping?
Yeah.
Who goes camping?
Me.
I'm actually going camping this weekend in the forest. I can't wait.
Love doing it one.
What's something else you do in the forest? Let me get another volunteer. Come here. Come here. You go hiking in the forest? Why'd you put this on? You can go on a little trip. What's something else you do in the forest for recreation? What lives up in the trees?
Birds.
What can you do with these?
Bird
You can go bird watching, right? What's something else you can do in the forest?
Canoe.
Well, you hiking, canoeing. What about water? What can you do with these? A lot of times you can fish, right? Forests give us clean water. Let's watch out. Make sure you don't poke anybody in the eye. Let's stay over here.
Fishing.
Good job. So there's lots of different recreation we can have in the forest.
Canoeing.
You can go canoeing where there's water, right?
No more getting
All right, let's keep it down. Let's have another volunteer. Let's get a lady this time. How about you, man? What's your name? No, you.
Maryland.
Come up here, Marilyn. Pick out a gift. Read it to everybody and hold it up so they can see. What does that say?
Air filter.
It says air filters. Hold it up for everybody to see. How in the world? What is that talking about? This is an air filter, right?
Yeah. Trees purify air.
That's right. We're going to get to that. They purify air because in every tree at the very top is one of these, isn't there?
No.
It's okay to say no. You're telling.
Nope.
No, they're not in the trees, but they do act like filters, right? How do they act like filters?
Because carbon dioxide is what trees breathe and we breathe oxygen.
Fantastic. So let's go over that again. We breathe out carbon dioxide, right?
And they breathe it in.
They breathe it in, and they breathe out what?
Air.
Oxygen, which we breathe. So we need trees, right? They purify the air that way for sure. How else do they do that? How else do trees clean our air? Did you know that the leaves and needles and sometimes even the bark acts like a filter for the air, sucking in and taking all the dirty, dusty air out and cleaning it for us? Did you know that? Let me get another volunteer. We just had a lady, right? Let's get a young man. Come here. Yeah, you. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Oh.
We got two left. Which one is it? Come up here. Stand over here.
Wildlife.
Wildlife. kind of wildlife do we have in the forest? Does wildlife actually live in the forest?
Yes.
Just one or two kinds? Like what?
Lots. Tree huggers.
No, that's not wildlife. Tree huggers are people. What kind of wildlife lives in the forest? What kind of wildlife? What's he using these for? What other kind of animals live in the forest? Deer. What else? Bears, possums, fish, snakes, skunks. What? Let's just stick for deers right now. Turn around and hold these up. So deer is just one of the many types of wildlife we have in our forest. How does wildlife live in the forest? Does the forest give them food at all?
Yes.
What kind of food? How? Well, deer sometimes eat leaves, right? But what other kind of animals eat food from the forest, and what kind of food? What's that? Not really cows. I guess it's possible. Let's take this tree behind us. That's an oak tree. What does an oak tree produce?
Acorn.
Acorns. What eats acorns? What else? Deer. What other kind of food comes out of the forest? I don't think snakes eat nuts. What do snakes eat? Sometimes the animals eat each other, don't they?
Snakes can eat themselves if they're long enough. And deer clap their
I didn't know that. Let's get one more lady. Would you like to come up? All right, let's get our last gift. What is this? Let's stand over here. Read that to everybody and hold it up. Hey guys, come back here to get in line for me. Those of you in line. Jobs. Did you see any jobs out there?
No.
I see a couple. I see 1, 2, 3, 4 people who have to make their job directly off the forest. What kind of jobs does the forest provide? Yes.
Oxygen.
What kind of jobs? Jobs that people do for a living. Yes.
Timber work.
That's right. Timber work, which means what? Logging, right? Like you might hear the lumberjacks, right? Loggers, foresters. You know, Mr. Eric right here is going to talk to you in a minute. He's a forester. He's a registered forester. He went to Clemson University. It's the only place you can get a forestry degree in South Carolina. I hate to say. What other kind of jobs does the forest provide? Did you know that Michelle with the camera right here and Mr. Justin, your guide, and I all work for the communications department of the Forestry Commission, and we tell people how cool the forest is all the time. What other kind of jobs?
Construction building, because they needed a construction building.
That's exactly right. They might not work in the forest, but they use the trees they cut down to make lumber, to make frames for houses and all kinds of wooden products, right? All right, good deal. If I could get my volunteers to just put your props back on the table for me.
And then we can hug trees.
You can hug trees if you like.
Okay.
All right, well,
Listen up to me, okay? So right now you have a sign in front of you, and on that sign it tells you what you are. We're all part of the forest here is what we're doing. So we have a quail right here. We have a leaf right here. We have a red maple. And you're a fish. Show me your fish face. Okay, we have a honeybee. Oh. All right, so what I want you to do, right, in order to make sure that we do this activity good, take your hand and put it out across the row. Palm up, okay? And when I come around to you, I'm going to lay this string on top of your hand, and you can hold on to it like this, is what I need you to do, okay? So, what we're going to do is we're going to start off with our student here, our student. So place that and close your hand. All right. So the students, we're all in the forest today. We're enjoying our forest today. And we're learning about our forest. So come over here, forest. Hold on to that tightly. And the forest needs good soil to grow and to be strong and grow up. We've got our good soil is right over here. And that good soil has nutrients in it that help the trees to grow. One of those trees is a sourwood tree. So our sourwood tree, are you sweet or sour? You don't know? Well, you're sour today, okay?
Very sour.
You're happy about that, aren't you? But sourwood is a great tree because you know what likes that sourwood tree? Bees.
Yeah.
But bees make something sweet out of it, like sourwood honey when they're using a sourwood tree. But those bees also help pollinate flowers and trees around. So one of those trees is a red maple. Our red maple is right here.
I love to look at those.
Red maples. You know why they call them a red maple?
They make red maple.
They have something red on them at least.
makes
Anytime
syrup?
during the year they have something that's red on them. And this time of the year when the leaves start changing, what do the leaves turn?
Red.
Red. And a lot of other trees that change colors. Who likes looking at leaves when they change color, the different fall colors?
Me.
One of those people that has a job in the forest is a nature photographer that takes pictures of those trees. Hold on to that tight for me. Some of those trees are the oak and dogwood trees right here. And we talked about as well as there's fruit that comes off of those trees. Acorns come off of the oak trees, and berries are on some of the dogwood trees. And some of the animals that like that food, one of them is a quail. Quail likes those berries. Hold on to that tight for me. And you know, quail is a type of bird that does a quail live up in the tree?
Yes.
It doesn't. It actually lives on the ground,
I do.
along with the weeds and grasses. Who's a weed around here? You're a weed. All right. And those weeds and grasses help keep the soil together and help. We talked about over here when it rains hard, the forest helps filter that water that comes down and provides what? Clean water. Okay? So we've got a clean stream that's coming out of here, out of that forest. And who likes living in a clean stream?
Fish.
You are fish. Yes. Hold on to that fish. All right. But you know who likes a clean fish?
Me.
You like fishing?
Me.
A bald eagle likes. So watch out for this guy. Watch out for this guy. He might pick you up later. Listen here. So, but do you know? So an eagle is a type of bird that lives up in a tree, has a nest up in the tree, have a big nest in a tree, and they have to have big trees, mature pine trees that have big wide branches. Do we have anyone that's mature? A mature pine forest. She looks very mature. Show me your mature face. So, but do you know that those mature trees, you know something that they do? Now, is it good to litter?
No.
What if you're a tree? Can you litter if you're a tree?
Yes.
Yes. You drop your needles and your leaves and produce leaf litter that provides nutrients to the ground. So where's our litter?
He's right there.
So this is the only time you can litter. All right. All right. So that litter helps provide nutrients to the soil, and it helps those trees that are growing in that. It provides those minerals and nutrients, and so you end up helping out the soil. Here's our soil. Got that? All right. So that good soil produces some shrubs and grasses that help our animal provide food for our animal. And one of those animals we talked about earlier was our deer. Would you be a deer and hold that?
I get it.
Good.
Pun.
I'm glad somebody got it. Whew. All right, so, but who looks after, this is another job. Who looks after the deer and hold it in your hand good. Hold it in your hand tight. One of the jobs that our forests produce is someone to look after the animals. And that is a wildlife biologist. Look at our wildlife biologist. Look at that. She's smart. Now, the wildlife biologists need to know about all the different animals in the forest. So we've got our forest back over here. Where did our other forest go? And so we got our forest where the animals live. But we need somebody looking after that forest to make sure it's healthy. Who is it that takes care of our forest? Our forester. Our Clemson forester. So, but the forest, so you look after the trees to make sure that they're healthy. Here's our tree right here. And that what is on the tree that ends up falling down in the fall? The needles and the leaves. Here's our leaf. Here's a string for you now. Something's happening here. Whoa,
You're
all right, hold on to that tight. Whoa, whoa. All right, so the leaves have the leaves are on the trees. The trees have product. We make products out of those. We harvest those and make lumber that we end up making houses. We got all the students like to live in those houses. And you know we also have another type of product, food. You know that we get food from our forest as well. What type of food do you get from a tree?
Peanut butter.
Don't listen to him.
Syrup.
So syrup, yeah. Who likes maple syrup?
Me.
Yes. All right. So and then it goes back to you. All right. So what I want you to do now, everybody, hold on to the string, and I want you to bring your string up to my hand here. Okay. Bring it up. Whoa, that's too high. Too high.
Spider web.
All right, right there. All right, bring your hand level with mine. Okay, and I want everybody to hold on to this. So what is happening here? What do we have?
Light.
It's a web.
It's a web.
All right, everybody get the same level here. Everybody hold the same level. Okay.
Where's the web?
What I want to talk about is how our forest is all interconnected. So what happens if I pull that?
We all move.
Did anybody feel that? Pull yours up?
Yeah.
Okay. Did everybody feel that?
Yeah, I felt that.
All of our forest,
I felt it.
listen, all of our forest works together. And it is important for you to understand how all the different parts of our forest work together. Because we can do things that are good for the forest, or we can do things that are bad for the forest. And that's why it's important for you to study, to learn that when we harvest a tree, what do?
Plant 5 more.
Yes, we make sure that we plant 5 more back, and we make sure we take care of our forest. What I'd like for you to do now is to put your hand back inside the circle, and gently just let your hands, open your hands and drop it in the circle. All right, thank you. Y'all have fun today.